What up, YouTube? It's your boy Charles Enoch. Welcome to Invest in Myself Recap Wednesdays. This is where I show you highlights of last week's episode without all the extra. Now, if you do want to see the full episode of last week, I have the description down below. And stay tuned to the end of the video because I'll be letting you know what subject we'll be talking about this coming Saturday. Now listen, before we get into the highlights, I need your help of meeting my goal of 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Now I know it's a crazy goal, but it's my goal, so help me make this happen. So if you're new to the channel, go ahead, take that little bit of time, hit that subscribe button for me. Also, while you at it, you may as well hit the like button for me. And last, I want to give a shout out to everybody that has donated to my Patreon. Y'all are real MVPs. And for anybody that does enjoy my videos and wants to donate, I'll have the link to my Patreon in the description down below. Thanks in advance. Now let's get started. So I'm not sure if you guys know, but last year was a crazy year. So inflation went up by dang near 7%. Inflation was crazy high. And if you were just saving your money, you were not keeping up with inflation. Now, the other thing about last year, the S&P 500 grew by 27% for the year. That is a crazy return. So the net is, if you were saving money last year, you lost last year. If you were investing your money, you got a pretty sweet return for the year. So in this video, I'm gonna show you guys how to start the year right using a velocity banking method so that you can invest your money instead of trying to save up your money for an emergency fund and not beating inflation. Now, I know this sounds like it's not possible, but it definitely is. So you already know, I got the whiteboard in the back. We about to break this thing down like a fraction. Let's go. All right, so we're on the whiteboard. We actually got two examples today because I want to show you the way that most people do and the investing velocity banking way here. So we're going to start with Save and Sue. And Save and Sue is going to do it the way that people typically do, what financial advisors typically tell people to do. So Save and Sue, her income is going to be $5,000, expenses $4,500, pretty decent cash flow of $500. Now, it was recommended to Sue that she should have a savings of 6 months of her expenses just in case of an emergency. So if we did the math for 6 months, that would be $27,000 nest egg before she could start investing. So we're going to see how that particularly is going to turn out when Sue is pretty much trying to save all this money and stuff it in her savings account and not invest anything. All right, so we're on the other side of the board. Let's see how Sue is going to do her thing, how she's going to save her money to try to get to this emergency fund of $27,000. So in the month of January, Sue is pretty much going to be saving her cash flow of $500 pretty much every month, trying to get to that nest egg of $27,000 to feel safe, to feel pretty good before investing. So in January, Sue saves $500. There's no type of an emergency in January. So we're gonna go on to February. We see Sue saved another $500, totaling $1,000. And then we get to the month of March. She saved $1,500, but there was some type of emergency and it cost her $1,000 for that emergency. Now, when we get to April, she's gonna have to use $1,000 out of that $1,500, right? And then she's gonna stuff the $500 that she's gonna get in April. So her savings went down to $1,000. There's gonna be no emergency in April. So we're seeing that, yeah, she's slowly saving money, but when an emergency happens, then you're gonna have to take care of that emergency, making you kind of start over here. So this is where a lot of people are just saving all this money, right? and then they're losing money from inflation and they're not keeping up with inflation. So it seems like you're getting broker and broker and broker every single year. All right, so we're on the other side of the board here. We got another scenario. We're going to have Investing Ivy. Now, Investing Ivy has looked at my video about velocity banking, and she is going to want to do the velocity banking strategy and start investing. So Investing Ivy is going to have the same financial income and resources and everything here. So she's going to have $5,000 in income. Expenses are $4,500, meaning that her cash flow is $500. Now, Investing Ivy got a HELOC of $30,000. Now, the HELOC will be the emergency fund. So if the emergency happens, she can pull from the HELOC, meaning that her cash flow, she can always invest that money. So that money is making more money, right? So let's kind of take a look and see how Investing Ivy, how she is going to hit the year investing her money. So in January, we have the emergency fund, the HELOC, right, of $30,000. Investing Ivy, let's say that she put it in stocks of the S&P 500, crypto, whatever you want to do. Let's say that she put it in stocks, right? That's $500 in stocks. The next month, February, still got our HELOC, our emergency fund of $30K, 6 months worth of money built up, right? And then another $500 in those stocks. Now the month of March comes, another $30K, puts another $500 in those stocks while the stocks are, doing their thing for the year. Then an emergency happens of $1,000. Now, Ivy is going to have to pull from the HELOC. So she's going to take $1,000 out. That's going to be $29,000. So for April, she's going to have to stop investing in the stocks, but the stocks are, they're still doing the thing. Hopefully they're growing. So she's going to put $500 of the $29,000 into the HELOC, which makes it $29,500. Stocks are still at $1,500 doing their thing. No emergency. We come to May, then Ivy's going to fill her HELOC back up to $30K, right? And then she couldn't invest in the stocks, but the stocks still doing their thing. Come June hits, she's going to put $500 more in stocks. So she has $2,000 in stocks. HELOC is paid in full, that emergency fund. There's no emergency. So the end for Ivy, total invested is $4,000 in stocks, let's say the S&P 500, 26% growth for the year. And then you still have your emergency fund, your HELOC. So we see that Investing Ivy had an investing mindset since the beginning, right? So we use the bank's money for emergency. Our money, we're going to pay ourselves, we're going to invest and make that money make money. When an emergency happens, we're going to use the bank's money, that HELOC, and then we're going to pay that HELOC back. Once we pay the HELOC back off, we back to investing, right? Because we want our money to make more money, to make more money. So you see how the methods are different and how Investing Ivy overall is going to be better off because she has an investing mindset and she's not worried about saving her money to have a 6-month emergency fund, right? And for those that may not have a house or anything, you can still get a personal line of credit. Now, it may not be $30,000. You may get $10,000 or $15,000. That's still at least 3 months worth of emergency funds. So again, you can even use like a credit card and things like that for the bank's money. So get your credit scores up and things like that. And then you're able to borrow the bank's money for emergencies and use your money as the investment vehicle. So this is just a little something on how you can start 2022 getting ahead, having an investing mindset. So next week's episode, we'll be going over which credit card you should be paying off first using Velocity Banking. So sometimes it's hard to figure out, should you pay the lower interest credit card with a really high balance, or should you be paying the high interest credit card with the lower balance? So we'll be going more in depth about this question this Saturday. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys this Saturday. Peace out.